What's up, guys? Welcome to Conspiracy Corner Podcast. This is Abe, your host. Just chilling before work. It's a beautiful rainy day here in Kentucky, Lexington. I love rain. I ain't gonna lie. I love rain. Today's update, it's gonna be a little short. I'm not going to focus on personal update because last episode I did apologize within the episode, and I apologized within the post I put out, the poll on YouTube, that I did not mean for that intro, that update to be so long, but I hope you guys enjoy. I mean, like I said, this is a podcast, so if you're not aware from the title of my channel, this is a podcast, so just kind of buckle in, chill out. What I do is I just sit here and talk for 30 minutes or plus, Talk radio, baby, just like the old days. Gen Z gets so confused on what a podcast or talk radio is. They're like, so used to TikTok of, you're not going to give me all the info in 5 seconds? What? It's like, no, I'm going to sit here and talk for a little bit. But the update today, it's going to be just focused on what's going on with the channel. So I heard some bad news with the channel. I hate to talk about money, but I'm going to. I've already explained to people before that I do not make money on this channel anymore. I made $30 off of this channel after 7 years of creating content. And I had spoke about it in previous podcasts that I bought my wife a new computer because our old computer was ghetto and eventually just became fucked up. Pardon my French, but just fucked up because I'm not really tech savvy. I don't know what was wrong with it. My wife was like, yeah, this thing's just fucked up. She was like, I'm getting a payout because her company had switched to a new company, the company that she works for. So she's like, I'm buying a new laptop. And I'm like, okay. Because she was going to get paid vacation weeks or something like that. So it was they dropped us with $1,000 or $1,500 or something like that. She's like, yep, I'm just going to break down and get a new laptop. And needless to say, the laptop that we were using, I bought off a friend way back in the day for $300. And the dude had already had a video maker software downloaded onto it. And we just, when we got it, we upgraded it, upgraded the software of the video maker that was already on it. And it was free. So I talked to her today and she's doing, I think it's Filmora. And she's paying $25 a month. So it's not a huge thing, but today, and she's covering it. She told me, I'm covering it. I can afford it with how much she makes at work. It's $25 a month. No biggie. And she's already talking. She's going to cancel Netflix Netflix. She's got a Netflix thing and I never use it. She never uses it really, except for Pokemon, but we're doing okay. I'm not asking for money. But the only reason I bring that stuff up is because there's a lot of toxicity in the community of oh, you're doing this for money. It's no, I've put in so much more money than I'll ever make back. I do this because I enjoy doing it. So that's what's going on. Today I was supposed to stay home and I was going to start getting us set up on different platforms as far as Fountain FM, BitTube, and Rumble. I was going to get us set up on those 3 platforms, but I'm actually coming into work tonight for overtime. Hence why I'm podcasting from the parking lot. So yeah, we're doing fine, you know. But I do have this. This is part of the update. I told you guys I'm going to do a series on it because no one's done it yet. And this, I actually got this for like $4.50. So look forward to that, because I don't think any podcast has actually done an audiobook with commentary on Leave the World Behind. They've usually just done like one episode of a movie review about it. Which is something I wanted to do with Sammy. Was we watched it and I wanted to do a podcast movie review episode on it while the going was going good. But I don't know, she kind of went through like a little patch of like, I don't want to be on camera, I don't want to do reviews, just discouraged. And I told her, man, like, it's so much easier to do a podcast with someone else because you can bounce off of them. And I told her how I feel about it. I'm like, you don't have to. I'm not going to force you to do something you don't want to do. You know. But she's just down on herself. Get your mind out the gutter. She's down on herself about... She thinks that she doesn't say enough, and what she says is not validated because she's not as deep as I am in conspiracy and shit. And I'm like, dude, I've never seen a negative comment about you. And if I did, I wouldn't bring it to her attention because that's my wife, dude. I was like, as far as I know, everyone loves Sammy, dude. She's cool as fuck. And if you do comment, like, honestly, if you guys can do me a favor, like, next time we do a podcast together, can you guys just, like, because she doesn't watch these, so it's a secret between me and you. Shh. Can you guys just, like, boost up her confidence a little bit in the comment section? Like, next time we do a podcast together, like, be like, oh my God, like, Sammy's back, you know? Like, we missed you. Something. Like, say something nice, please. Because her self-esteem level is low. And I try to bring it up a lot, but it's kind of hard. I mean, I deal with depression. She deals with self-esteem issues, you know. But yeah, so look forward to a series on this. We're going to go deep, real deep. And I think it's going to, honestly, this book is... It's kind of short. It's not super long. It's like... It's only like 300... It's under 300 pages. But I'm just going to let you know, I think we're going to go deep on this. It's probably going to turn into like a decent series. Maybe a 10-parter, something like that. Because I've already been discussing it. And I haven't even cracked the thing open. I'm just discussing the conspiracies around it. From Cyber Polygon to the movie itself, talking about it in previous episodes and shit. And I haven't even opened the book yet. And I've already been making multiple episodes on the subject. So, let's get to the point. We're going to cover... Good news, ladies and gents. We've been waiting for it. I told you guys, man, you have to celebrate the small wins. I ain't gonna lie, yesterday I found this out right before my work shift started. And I was like, why do I have to work today? Because me and Sammy, we always keep a bottle of champagne on deck. And they've been selling fireworks here at work. And I was like, dude, I wish I was home cracking open that bottle of champagne with my wife and shooting off fireworks because a beautiful thing happened yesterday. Julian Assange is freed. Dun dun dun. I wish I had a soundboard on here. I wonder if I could download one. I could do like an applause or a air horn. Doo, 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 doo. Sadly, I'm not in studio, and I can't edit. I could edit it in later, but I'm not going to. Julian Assange is free. So 5 years he was locked up. 5 fucking years. In UK. And this, I'm not gonna lie, this is all off the cuff. I do have notes because I've been doing my research like a good little boy. But this has been one of those conspiracies that I have been keeping up with because he broke, with WikiLeaks, he kind of broke the emails between Podesta and Hillary and all that jazz. He's kind of, in a way, the godfather of like Pizzagate and shit. So I respect that. I salute you. But so I'm not like a professional or a professor. I'm trying to find the right word. I can't find it. But I'm not like a genius when it comes to the whole Julian Assange account. The whole Julian Assange story. So like if you are expecting that from this channel, like you're not going to get it. We're going to talk about that today, but it's not going to be the main. I'm not like a genius on it. I'm not an expert. Expert, that's the word. It's raining again. Hang on a second. I'm not an expert on Julian Assange. And there actually is people who are experts, like, shout out, Slow News Day. I forget the guy's name, but he's on Union of the Unwanted. Slow News Day. And I think it's called Good Morning AM or Wake Up AM. You should be able, just type in Slow News Day. It's a conspiracy podcast. You'll be able to find it. You'll know who I'm talking about. He's a regular on Rogue Ways, and he's a regular on Tinfoil Hat, and a regular on Union of the Unwanted. So he's a good dude. He's like an expert on Assange. He knows all of the stories. He keeps up with all of the documents. He's been covering it for years. But I'm a jack of all trades. I try to focus on all of conspiracy all at once, and it becomes crazy hectic. I've showed you guys my handy dandy notebook and how thick it is with notes. I'm like a billion podcasts behind because I just don't have the time working 50 hours a week. I mean, I'm putting out a podcast every episode, but I can't keep up with it, man. So, Julian Assange got freed. Let's get into the actual terms and conditions and what's going on, the actual facts. He pled guilty to basically releasing U.S. military secrets, and he pled guilty on Wednesday. Now, he pled guilty in a court, this is what I'm getting from my source, in a court in the city of Saipan, the capital of the Mariana Islands. And I was like, wait, why is he going into like some Eastern Asian country? What's going on with all that jazz? What's going on? Huh? I'm confused. Apparently, I didn't know this. The Mariana Islands is a U.S. Commonwealth in the Pacific Ocean. So, kind of like Puerto Rico, it's like our 52nd state or whatever. Because what, we got 51 states? Hawaii and Alaska. I'm not going to add them all up. I think it's 51. So, like, unofficially, Puerto Rico would be the 52nd. is what we all say, especially if you're from Florida and there's a large Puerto Rican population. We always used to just say, oh, you guys are the 53rd state or whatever. 52nd or 53rd? Someone's going to kill me in the comments. But yeah, Mariana Islands would, I guess, be like the 53rd Providence Commonwealth of the United States. It's part of the U.S. Now, he's actually getting off, I think, pretty easy. He's getting off because he pled guilty to a single felony count in a U.S. court because it's under Commonwealth. It will allow him to return to Australia and not spend time in a United States prison. So this is where it gets into conspiracy, because I found this out from Not Elusive Truths. Hang on. God, I wish I knew that guy's channel. Oh man, that sucks, because I wish I could give him a proper shout out. Outer Limits or something like that. I think it's Outer Limits. Ah, fuck, I feel so shitty, dude, because I know people, I've given people scoops and they haven't given me proper shout outs, so this fucking sucks. I think it's Outer Light or Outer Limits. He's like an Australian, he's like an Aussie or an Englishman who does conspiracy shit. He does like news roundup videos. Please go try to find him. Fuck, that sucks. I'll have to shout him out like next podcast or something. Now I feel shitty. But he's the one who broke the story to me. Go check him out. He puts out a lot of good shit. So, I mean, he's already spent 5 years, not in prison, but as far as I know from my studies, he was on like house arrest, because I fell in love with the Julian Assange story from the WikiLeaks information. The only reason I knew about the WikiLeaks information was because I was getting into the whole, because I'm still on YouTube, pizza fence conspiracy. I was on the pizza fence conspiracy, and sadly, this is where I get into you need to shout out your sources, because the whole pizza fence conspiracy was started with WikiLeaks. I didn't know that, because all the people who were putting out content about pizza fence never gave proper credence to Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. So for a long time, I was like, where are all these people getting this info from? I don't know, but it's good info. You know, because this was way back in the day. Turns out Julian Assange was the one that like leaked the emails, from my understanding, of the Podesta and Hillary and shit. Which that's a whole nother story. Hopefully you're up to date on it. But yeah, he spent 5 years in house arrest from what I seen, because I was actually watching like the cameras that they had on him. I was watching like clips of him skateboarding in the house. It was pretty sad. Him just laying around, him bored out of his mind, cooking and shit. He was on house arrest for 5 years. And I mean, you all remember the transformation. He went in looking like a young dude, kind of like me. You know, I'm not young, I'm 32, but he went in looking like good. And then he come out when they transferred him. Do y'all remember where they're hauling him away and he's got a beard and everyone's like, oh, look how crazy he looks. The mainstream media, not us, but he's like, oh, yelling and shit. And he looked like a hobo. To me, that was sad, you know. But yeah, it'll allow him to return to Australia. Now, this is where it gets into conspiracy. Hopefully, his flight is already done and hopefully he made it home safely. But a lot of people in the comments section are like, ain't that interesting? What if something happens on the plane? Because a lot of weird stuff's been going on with planes and shit lately. Or helicopters. We talked about the Prime Minister of Iran, what happened to him in a helicopter, all that fishiness. Last episode we talked about that. And we all know what's going on with Boeing and all these whistleblowers and Malaysia airplanes and all this shit. There's just a lot of weird stuff going on with planes right now. And as far as I know, I think they said in the article that he was chartering a private jet or something like that. So hopefully, I just been praying. I prayed last night. I prayed today that he would just get there safely, just get home to his wife and shit, and get home safely, and that all of this can be a good ending, you know. Now, part of him pleading guilty in a U.S. court, part of the terms and conditions is he has to destroy any info that was provided to WikiLeaks, any info that would be classified as military secrets and shit. I personally think he has done his job. I've said this. I was talking about this in not last episode, but 3 episodes ago. It's an episode called I Passed Down My Sword. I kind of went into this, talking about this, on how we are in spiritual battle. I truly believe it's spiritual warfare. And you got Christians who are fighting dark, evil warlocks. And sadly, they see me on that team because I'm an occultist and I'm a magician, but little do they know that there's actually good people within the occult community, within the magic community, whatever you want to call it. There's good people like me who are using magic against the evil warlocks too. You'll never hear that side of the story though. But we are in a spiritual war, and we are in an info war. Like Alex Jones said, he picked the perfect name. We are in an info war, an information war. And I'm doing my part as far as my spiritual shit, which I kind of share with you all, but at the end of the day, it's my spiritual path. It's my spiritual life. I try to keep a lot of that shit secret, but I'm over here casting spells and making prayers and, but during the day, you know, when I have to work, and I consider this my job too, when I'm putting out content, I consider that part of the info war, dude. I'm on that battlefield. In that episode, I talk about I'm not on the front lines like I used to be, but I'm still an archer. Or I'm still a wizard with a staff. When I first started this channel, I was more gung-ho on the front lines of, I gotta wake everyone up. That was my mission. Now my mission is just to inform you guys on what's going on. And I'll let the young bloods do that shit. I'll let the younger, newer channels be, wake everyone up, wake everyone up. Now I could care less. I'm like, if you're not awake by now, I can't help you. But if you are awake, use this channel as information, a source of information. And I think that Julian Assange has put in his battle, dude. He went to fucking prison, house arrest, whatever. People are gonna get in the comments and be like, getting nitty gritty on details. He did his time. He did his time for 5 fucking years. And during those 5 years, you know, he was like, he believes that he was getting drugged. He believes that, and he's talked about this, he believes he was getting drugged. He believes that they were like poisoning his food because he would get sick for like a week straight and shit. You hear this a lot, man. Like with Eileen Warnos, you know, she was talking about that. I think they're trying to fucking drug me and shit and kill me. I think they're trying to kill me in here. Which I kind of believe she was used by the government. She talks about black helicopters dropping her off, picking her up. She talks about how they knew where to find her and when to find her, and that they were watching her, and she knew that they were letting her kill to clean the streets of Florida and shit. It's a whole nother rabbit hole. So he did his time, man. I think he should just destroy what he has to destroy, like the court has demanded him to do. And people will go, oh, that's pussy, that's pussy. Well, no offense, you spend 5 years locked up. You put in the footwork. I've done 7 years of this shit. You know, I hear all these people talking about what's pussy and what's not pussy, but half of these pussies are not even putting out content. Half of these pussies are not making content. They're just talking shit in comment sections. So I already know there's going to be people like, if he destroys all that good information and just retires, like, he's a pussy. And it's like, no, dude. He already put in his fucking work, man. I believe at this point, Julian Assange should, in my opinion, he should play it cool, destroy the shit, or make it disappear into someone else's hands to where there's no fucking breadcrumbs that it ever came from him. I'm just saying, maybe it could happen. But he should retire and enjoy the rest of his life. I think, as a conspiracy theorist, I think in this community, he has done everything that he could, should. He did amazing. He did what I wish that I could have done in this community. I wish that I could have broke stories and info like WikiLeaks has done. I just report on what I've already seen. I'm not the one actually breaking stories and shit. I have throughout the years created my own personal conspiracy theories, my own theories and if you want woo-woo prophecies and shit, predictions. I have done that, but nothing compared to Wiki, you know. I think he should just enjoy his life with his smoking hot wife, because I did see her, she's smoking hot, so attaboy Julian Assange. Enjoy the rest of his life, dude. And if he does still want to stay in journalism and shit, I think he should just do, honestly, like blue pill journalism. At this point, I would still work if I was Julian. I would take a year off. From the get-go, I would take a fucking year off, dude. But I would still work just so there's money coming in. But I would be doing like fun stories as far as journalism. Like, do you remember Rum Diary when he first got the job? Hunter S. Thompson first got the job. If you've ever seen Rum Diary, he moved to Puerto Rico and he's like, dude, they're giving me like jobs on, like, they would send him to a bowling alley. Go report on this bowling alley. And he would be bowling and drinking alcohol. And he's like, these are the stories they're giving me. And that might have been in the book, not the movie. So if you haven't read the book, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe that's another series we'll do, is Rum Diary on this channel. But anyways, they were giving him like shit jobs, and he was like, I want to write something that's going to make a difference in the world. And I get that mindset, but at the same time, it's like, that's kind of a cool gig to just go to a bowling alley, go play go bowl for an hour or two, talk to the manager, talk to the owner, write it down, write an article on it. Like, I would love that, dude. That's what I wanted to go to school for, was journalism, to do shit like that, dude. All right, so the rain stopped. But yeah, the whole point I was making is, like, honestly, if I was Assange and I had to give him any advice, I would just go blue pill journalist at this point. Enjoy the rest of your life. You are already in the history books as a villain and as a hero. Enjoy the rest of your life, and I would just do blue pill shit from here on out. Maybe write a novel, bro. Write some fiction. But I got 10 minutes until less than 10, 9 minutes, 8 minutes, because my memory's running out. Let's get into since we're focusing on this shit. QAnon. No, let's talk. Oh, comment sections. Because I love to respond to comments. Outer Light. The Outer Light. I'm pretty sure the channel is called The Outer Light. He's an English fellow. I think I got it. So I don't feel as bad now. I gave him a shout out. I was in his comment sections and we were all celebrating, and there was these people here in his comment sections who were like, I don't know, I guess Q-tards or like on the Trump train. And by the way, I've had people call me communist in comment sections. I've had people call me Antifa because I wear all black and I'm a punk and I paint my nails and I have spiky hair. I keep repeating this, so I'm not going to be a broken record, but I cannot tell you how many times I voted for Trump the second election, the one that was stolen. I voted for Trump, and I used to be a Q-tard. So, people tell me I have Trump derangement syndrome, and it's like, no, I don't. I just notice things that he did wrong, and I call them out. So, as far as I know, he could have pardoned Assange during his term. And he got a lot of fucking hate because he ran on a lot of WikiLeaks info, and he even mentioned WikiLeaks. Part of the reason he became president was because of WikiLeaks. And then Assange gets locked up, and he doesn't pardon him. And from what I hear, this is all off the cuff, didn't he pardon like Lil Wayne and Roger Stone? Like, first of all, this is what the truth community wanted. As far as like the truth community of my little section of the people that I listen to and the people that I hang out with, we wanted Edward Snowden pardoned, and we wanted Julian Assange pardoned. And you get like, I think like 3 or 4 pardons as president. That's all we wanted. Pardon Julian Assange, pardon Edward Snowden. And he pardoned like Roger Stone and which Roger Stone I think is his little butt buddy or something. And fucking Lil Wayne. Like, nobody asked for that. I don't know if he was just trying to like get a black vote by pardoning Lil Wayne. I think Lil Wayne was like a felon with gun charges or something, or drugs or something, maybe both. But you had one job, bro. That's literally the meme. You had one job. Pardon these 2 people and you will have our vote next term, next election, which would be this one coming up. But someone in the comment section of Outer Limits or Outer Light was like, I can't wait to see, they're going to turn this on Trump. You know. And my thing is like, you guys make fun of us. By the way, I was a Trump voter. And actually, I would rather see Trump in than Biden. I want RFK to win. I've already said this, but I would rather Trump win presidency than Biden any day. But you guys keep saying we have Trump derangement syndrome, and it's like, well, no offense. I'm actually not obsessed about Trump. I think I did one episode talking shit about Trump, of all the shit that I didn't like, because I just wanted to get it out in one episode. I think I literally called the episode, even like out of funniness, was like Orange Man Bad. Of just his Soros connections, his Rockefeller connections, giving money to Bill Gates, not pardoning Julian Assange and Edward Snowden, Operation Warp Speed, just bringing up everything that I didn't like about him, you know? Not firing Fauci. Like, come on. But the whole point is, like, this person in the comment section was like, well, people are going to come in with TDS, and it's like, we don't have TDS. We just point out shit that we don't like. And you guys think we have TDS, even though we actually voted for the dude. Like, I voted for him, you know? I was on the Trump train. But I will point out things that he didn't do right. I like Lincoln. Certain things Lincoln did that I didn't like. Kennedy, I like Kennedy. There's certain things Kennedy did that I didn't like, researching him, you know? But I guess the point I'm making is like, okay, if you're going to say we have TDS, I do notice this weird, strange phenomenon of Trump obsession syndrome, that he's almost a messianic figure of like the Republicans and QAnon. Like, if you say one bad thing about Trump, they will dogpile you in comment sections saying, what are you, a communist? What are you, a liberal? What are you, Antifa? What are you, they'll call you all sorts of names, and I literally have to defend myself going, hey, whoa, I voted for him. I'm just saying he's wrong here when it comes to this subject or whatever. He's wrong. And, yeah, so, like, if we're going to talk about TDS, then what about TOS, Trump Obsession Syndrome? Because you guys have turned him into a messianic figure. I like the guy, I voted for the guy, but I don't worship the guy. But the way some of these people in comment sections, like, worship this dude, it's like, why don't you just get on your knees and, like, lick the dude's butthole? That's the way you're acting. Like, you worship him like he's like... And I see real creepy shit on Christian channels where they're calling him like the son of David and shit, trying to prove that he's like literally the bloodline of King David. Like, creepy fucking shit, that he's like the next Messiah. It's bizarre. But yeah, Trump did fuck up. He could have pardoned, because as far as I knew, he got extradited to UK. Unless, like I said, this is all off the cuff, unless my research is wrong, he could have pardoned him and Snowden. Snowden ran to Russia on his own free will. And then, as far as I'm concerned, unless I'm wrong, fucking Assange got extradited to UK to do time, because Australia is under UK rule, kind of like Canada, and Ireland. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I want to end this on a good note. Let's celebrate the small win. I wanted to go deeper, but I'm running out of time because I only have so much memory on my phone. And honestly, this is a long episode as it is. Hence why I kept the intro